about it, about whether we've got any music on at all. Uh, but we are actually live now. So
Yay!
and this was the music.
Wait, I'll try it.
If I did that, my glasses would fly off.
Oh my god, look at here. I have to do it. I had to do it.
I feel like I'm moshing. It's not too good for your head if you do too much of that. It just ruin your head. Okay. And here we are. Right, how do you turn the background music off? Oh, I see, just press stop. Welcome. My goodness, we got people watching already. How embarrassing. Did you like Desi's moshing? The hair was everywhere.
Well, if they didn't like it, please lie to me because it did destroy my hair. So at least I hope you liked it.
Yeah, I hope there was some reason for it. Say hi if you are watching this. Drop us a comment. Say hello. Nice to see you and all that sort of thing. We had a lovely time last time we talked, didn't we? It made a lot of sense to me.
Yeah, last time we talked about the power of content.
We did. But I've had a bit of an insight. Well, you triggered it earlier. And I've been thinking this for ages, that what you do, the membership thing, and what I do, the whole high ticket thing, they're not mutually exclusive. In fact, they sit side by side in a really powerful, sensible, logical coaching or therapy business in the 21st century. We need both, don't we? Really?
I would say so. And when you have both, you have because running a business with one offer, it's not exactly freedom, is it? Like, it's better if you have multiple offers, especially one where you don't have to be present all the time, working one-to-one or anything like that, since most high ticket offers are either one-to-one or done for you, where you are required to be there on the screen. So best of all, when you have and this is what a lot of people don't realize who are selling high ticket. So I'm glad you realized it, is that when you have a membership site, selling high ticket is so much easier. Oh my God. I launched a $4,000 mastermind a few months ago and sold it out without ever making a public post.
Yeah.
It was insane.
Yeah, because you just tap people on the shoulder. I mean, look, at the heart of this is a fundamental concept that, people who bought something from you are much more likely to buy something else from you than cold strangers, aren't they? And
exactly.
there's nothing easier than getting people rolling into a monthly membership. Now, also as well, I'm sure the way you structure things, the way we structure ours, there's so much value in the membership that people get a real feel for what it would be like working with you more closely, don't they?
Exactly. All you have to do is build trust by actually giving value, obviously, and then position your high ticket offer as the next natural step for people. But here's where people go wrong. Some people say, okay, join my membership, then at some point you can leave that and join my high ticket offer. The goal is for them to be in both, because in both they get different things. Like in a high ticket offer, even if it's a group program where they get to hang out with you and other people, it's not the same as a membership where you have a community. Like in my membership, we have so many things, from accountability calls to co-working calls to mastermind calls. And it's like, you're not going to get that from a one-to-one or a group program,
Yeah, no, exactly. There's so many ways to mesh these things together, in other words, isn't there? And, full disclosure, this is why Des and I are talking about various collaborations throughout this year, not least of which, and this is about to be announced. I did a little tickly little teaser thing in the group last night, but we are doing a live event in the Midlands on the 6th and the 7th of May, and you're going to be there, aren't you, Des?
Maybe.
Oh, come on.
Oh, yes, come on. I am.
Yes, you are, exactly. We just had a notice from StreamYard. It looks like your stream isn't showing up on LinkedIn. This is a known
Oh,
issue with LinkedIn. They're working to fix it. Try
how
ending this
dare
broadcast
you?
and creating a new one. No, we're not actually going to do that. So
How
you
dare
can
you?
shut up. Well, we don't care anyway because everybody on LinkedIn's a boring bunch of stuffy. Yeah, we can say that now because there's nobody watching on LinkedIn, you see, so I'm not going to take
I
it
was gonna
personally.
say, yeah.
Mm.
Next time when there's a glitch with Facebook, it's gonna go, well, everyone on Facebook is like a stuffy, boring person anyway.
Yeah, they're all stupid, they're all ignorant. Um, yes, so we have, don't we? We have a link to who put that in? Oh, did you just put that in?
I am doing it again because
Oh,
I
so you
got it
just put that
wrong.
in, right? Okay. So there is a link to Desi's challenge next week. This is not an overt promo. We are going to give you value like we do on all these sessions. We're going to limit it to about half an hour from now, so probably about 25 to the hour. We'll disappear off into the ether for our weekend, as you will. But yeah, what we're going to do, we're going to give you some value. We're going to give you some ideas about, and these might be things that you haven't thought about, about the idea of integrating a membership community really simply into your business. If you're already doing one-to-ones, if you're already some of the CAB clients who've got your brilliant group programs together, or if you've got a course, a downloadable course. The big difference with all that stuff is that it's private to the people who are directly receiving the program or the course at the time. Particularly if they're distance learning some downloadable course, it's just them and a computer, isn't there? With the group
Yep.
programs we do, the CAB, it's a little bit richer experience because there's 4 of you on each session with at least from me walking you through and guiding you through. But it's still not a community. And the only way people are going to get a community feel from you, certainly on a paid program, is with a membership, isn't it, Des?
Yep. When I started my business, actually my membership turns 5 years old in this month. So
No
it's
way.
it's so
So,
crazy
how
because
many members have you got in it now then, after 5 years?
after the last launch, I'm not sure. I think 200 and something. We just finished the launch 2 weeks ago. So it's very fresh. We accepted
Isn't
15
it funny
visitors.
that there's a parallel there because we've been going 5 years as well with
Oh,
JHN.
there you
Um,
go.
our membership started in 2018, so 4 years, and we've got 250 members, literally 250 members in the group. Now, this is what I want to touch on as well because Gordon Bryan's asked this question about, could you sort of mesh the two together, do a one-to-one session that includes X number of months in a membership? Yeah, there's a really simple way to do that, Gordon. This is when you're taking somebody on for one-to-one, instead of pitching them and saying, all right, we'll have 6 sessions over 3 months or something, just be bold and say, look, we work together for 12 months, but we get most of the work done in the first 3 months. And that's your sessions then. Then you can say that for the rest of the 12 months, you'll actually be enrolled in the membership community, which gives you access to whatever it gives them access to. You can also explain that they get open access to you for the rest of the 12 months by email and messenger whenever they want to. Human nature that they won't do that. People are not going to be ringing you at 3 o'clock in the morning kind of thing.
Oh, you can never
Um,
be too careful with your terms and conditions.
I know you've got to make it overt, haven't you? Well, people phone you at 3 o'clock in the morning for probably because they're feeling, I don't know, they want to talk to you. Anyway, but I don't get anybody calling me at 3 o'clock in the morning. Suffice to say. So Gordon, yeah, look, I mean, it's really easy to bundle anything together. There's no hard and fast rules, and some of these questions that we get, Des, it's almost like people are asking us permission. Can I do this? Can I do that?
Oh
Well,
yeah, I get a lot
of
of
course you
that.
can. You can do anything you want. It's up to you, isn't it? How you
I get a
structure
lot
your.
of that. But I think rather than asking, can I do that? Because anything can be done, you
Yeah.
need to, I think I said that in the last, when we talked about content. I said, you need to look at your ultimate goal. Like you cannot approach things from, oh, this sounds like a cool idea, should I do that? Like that's not how it works. You need to look at yourself and the lifestyle you want to have in, let's say, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years time. That's what I did in the beginning as well.
Yes.
And ask yourself, okay, 5 years from now, do I still want to be doing one-to-ones? Do I want to, how much free time do I want? Do I, maybe some people are planning for, I don't know, having family or traveling the world when they retire. And you can't do that when you are working one-to-one all the time. So the steps that you lay down today will build the foundation for the desired lifestyle you have decades from now, possibly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when it comes to memberships, you can do exactly what Johnny just said. If you want to just combine like a one-to-one with a membership, what most of my clients seem to want is to keep their one-to-one as like a very exclusive high ticket type of
the
thing
VIP
that
thing.
only a few people join, right, every month or whatever, and get most of their income from an offer where they don't have to spend that much time, like a membership, for example.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know what? This speaks to a concept that I'm very fond of talking about. A coach of mine taught me this some years ago, and it's the idea of proximity pricing, which says that the closer they get to you, the more they have to pay.
Level of access. That's exactly what I teach. Yes.
Level of access. Yeah, exactly. That's another way to do it. I
Love
like proximity pricing because it's alliteration, isn't it?
I love that.
But here's the thing with that, guys. Think about all these global icons that you go and see in sport or in music, right? If you're in a stadium or an arena or a concert hall, if you want to get nearer the stage, it's a more expensive ticket, right? If you're stuck up in the upper balcony with a pillar in front of you, that's the cheap seats, right? People don't get to see that very much, have you?
See, you were right when you said that people were calling me.
They're calling you for a date on a Friday night.
Hopefully not.
Yeah. So proximity pricing, guys. You know, I was in Hyde Park some years ago. I went to see the legendary Paul Simon, and I bought a ticket. It was like 80 quid, and I thought, this is going to be good. This was half a mile away from the stage, right? And it turned out there's this Barclaycard VIP arena at the front with everybody who can actually see the artist, right? And their tickets were like 500 quid. So proximity pricing, guys. The closer they get to you, the more they have to pay. Think of it as a funnel as well. Yeah. And this will get you out of the way of working that Des is talking about, that's going to just wear you out forever. It will give you no freedom at all. If your core offering is one-to-one sessions, telling you time by the hour, right? That is not a business. It's not a smart way to run a business.
No,
you're simply tethering yourself to your clients forevermore, aren't you?
Yeah, and if you think about it, it's not even only that, because how do you get one-to-one clients? Well, most people have to do calls. Most people have to, whether it's a 15-minute call, I think for most people, they spend at least half an hour on a discovery calls, strategy calls, whatever you call them, to convince somebody.
45, I think, really, yeah.
I used to spend 45 minutes 4 years ago, and I was still doing these calls, and I hated it. I got good at it because I had to, because I thought, hey, that's the only way to have a business, and my coach convinced me. But imagine now, all the time you spend on discovery calls, all the time spent working one-to-one. If you have a successful membership, which really isn't that difficult to accomplish, not only will you save yourself the one-to-one discovery calls, because people in your membership will be a hard yes without you having to get on a call with them. Like I closed every single person for my high ticket mastermind without a call. Right. That was like, what, 14 or something people that paid me $4,000 without me having to do that. So yeah, I think that's what people forget, is how much time it saves you, as long as you do what Johnny says with the proximity thing. I call this level of access. I never heard about the proximity thing. It's so cool. You have to make sure when you have a membership, this is limited access to you. It is not, does not give people permission to be calling you, emailing you privately, expecting anything that is one-to-one, unless of course you do what Johnny said in the beginning and like combine the offers. But if it's just a membership site and the one-to-one is separate, remember, this is about getting your time back, not
Yeah,
spending more time trying to give people things they're not paying for.
yeah, yeah. No, exactly. So think of your products in a pyramid. You know, your level of access thing. If you view that as a pyramid, at the bottom is the membership area where more people are going to be there, but the proximity to you is limited. In the middle bit, if you've got a group coaching program, that can be very, very profitable too, and people get access to you along with other people at the same time. So it's a kind of one to few kind of thing, whereas the bottom is one to many ultimately. And then, you know, if you choose to, you can have a one-to-one offering. Look, it's not to say that one-to-one is you know the evil the evil solution that you should always try and steer away from. I'm just thinking here, Des, about the most expensive one-to-ones I've ever seen, which is with a coach in the States who's called Steve Hardison. And Steve Hardison pitches himself as the world's leading executive coach. And on his website, on his fees page, it costs $1 million to work with him for a year. $1 million. And you've got to go to his ranch in Arizona and spend the time with him. He doesn't travel, you know. He doesn't do anything online. It's all face to face. So it just shows, doesn't it? If you want to position yourself as an expert, you're probably not going to be going out there at $1 million today, but you can get there eventually. Why not? But say something silly, you know, charge 50 grand for a one-to-one experience with you. I'm sure Des would, if you could be bothered today to take a one-to-one client on, be 50 grand for 6 months, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I always try to stay away from it for my own sanity. But when I get, for example, into, let's say, corporate consulting or private consulting, of course I'll charge that.
Yeah,
But I won't, even making that money from a few hours of my time spent privately with someone, it's still not going to feel as fun and
I
exciting
know.
as teaching a
It just
group of
doesn't, does it?
people.
It just doesn't.
It's
Um,
just so different, but there's nothing wrong with it. Of course not. The only problem I have with one-to-ones for other people is that they bury themselves in it because they think
yeah,
that's the only thing I can do. And it's so much more amazing when you can only have a few that pay you very well,
yeah,
where you can make more impact. Because let's face it, if you're doing 50 one-to-one calls this month with
yeah, I
50
know.
separate people, what impact are you going to make? You're going to be burned out like crazy.
And I don't even think it's a rookie necessity either. You know, I never did any one-to-ones when I launched JHM.
Hmm.
First thing I did was launch a group program,
Yeah.
and within a month I got 4 people on it, and it just felt nice because there was some time leverage. You know, you felt like you were doing something productive without the grind of a kind of one-to-one thing. And I've got a couple of one-to-one clients now, but I've kind of progressed into that by understanding what my time is really worth. And I'll never take on any more than 2 at a time for the reasons you've said. But, you know, just give yourself permission, guys, to leverage your time and to think
Yeah.
smart about, as Des has said, you know, what does the future look like for your business?
Yeah.
And build that future now. You know, live that future now. Don't just say, oh, I've got to spend a few years doing one-to-ones, just get some practice in. That's not how it works, is it?
Oh no, I did it for less than a year and I was like, hell no, this is too much. So
Yeah,
about 6 months in, I started my membership and the rest is history. Like as soon as I replaced that income, I actually did think about going back to it, but for me, every person is different. So this is also something else. You have to learn as much as you can about yourself and what environments you thrive in. Because for me,
yeah,
I thrive when I serve groups of people, whether that's at a physical event, a group program. I love doing that. That's why
it's
also I
nice,
love
isn't
being
it?
on stage.
Yeah. Do you get a bit of a dopamine rush from the numbers of viewers as well? So you know how many people are on calls.
I do when I
It's a
run my
guilty pleasure,
challenges.
isn't
I do
it?
when I run my challenges because there's like 100+ people watching live, and I love that.
Oh
And
yeah,
I take a screenshot of it every time.
yeah. I do that too. I think I peaked out. I decided to get a premium Zoom thing just for that month. You know, because you can get up to 500 people in a room then. And I think we peaked 125, and it was just like, that's really cool. That is, talking to 125 people. Um, but yeah, I mean, you know, what one to many, guys. So let's have a look at some of the comments here. So Yeah, Raj is just endorsing your offer. So we're here today, by the way, because you're starting on Monday, aren't you? Your next challenge.
Yes, we start the six-figure membership blueprint challenge on Monday, but today
Yeah.
we've already accepted, we are accepting people into the group so they can come and hang out and meet each other. And tomorrow you're going to get to meet my team because it's not actually just one of those free challenges where one person is overworked answering all of your questions. This is me and a full team of 6 people, even 7, who are going
Yeah.
to be handling so much. It's not that I'm outsourcing everything. I'm going to be there for you every single night answering all your questions, but my team is there for extra support. And it's
Yeah. Fantastic.
completely free, no strings attached. If you don't want to pay anything, you don't pay a single dime.
Yeah. And I've just popped the joining link into the comments again, popping it on. I'm optimistically popping it on LinkedIn as well. Not that anybody's watching LinkedIn. What it's done, oh, this is really bizarre. It's actually posted the promo post 3 times in my feed on LinkedIn. So I'm guessing LinkedIn's tried to go live 3 times. Stupid platform, LinkedIn. Waste of time. To hell with you, LinkedIn. So Des, can you give us 3 good reasons why everybody watching this needs a membership site? Top 3 reasons.
3 reasons. Number 1, predictable income. Well, let's face it, do you really, it sounds harsh, but do you really have a business if you have no idea how much money you're going to make in the next 6 months, at least like the base level income? And number 2, so number 1, predictable income. Number 2, stability of income, because there is a huge difference between basing, like centering your business on high ticket sales, because one client leaves, oh my God, I'm fucked. I've literally known people who in the last 2 months, since all this craziness has been happening, lost 3 or 4 high ticket clients and now they don't have a business anymore. So there's a big difference between that happening and you losing a member that pays you $50 to $100 a month.
Yes.
Plus, with my method, that is very simple. You're going to learn that soon. You will know exactly how to replace them within 24 hours, which sometimes can be a little bit difficult with a high ticket client, especially if you're still quite new at this. So that's 2 reasons: income predictability, stability. And number 3, because honestly, if you got into this to make more impact, this is the way. When you have a membership, you get to serve a large group of people, and it's up to you. I've capped mine at 250 people, but many of my clients, they want memberships with thousands of people. Imagine having thousands of people who trust you, who look up to you, who already pay you. It's the most incredible feeling ever.
Yeah. No, it really, really is. And some of these membership groups are remarkably successful. I'm sure, as you know, Carrie Green in the Female Entrepreneur Association. She's got more than 6,000 members now, and that's 37.
And it's 37. A low ticket membership. So whenever a member leaves,
$37, isn't it?
It's I think it's like $50, isn't it, a month?
It might have gone up. It was $37 last time I looked.
Okay. Could be low. Yeah, it's a very low ticket membership. And when you create something like that, which, I mean, to be fair, most of my clients don't go that low. But when you create
taken 10 years, to be fair, as well.
Yeah, it's, she has the budget to run ads. Most of my clients, I teach them how to grow organically. So usually the cheapest price that you launch at when you work with me is like $50 for the very, very first public launch. And then you increase that, and then you increase that because your authority grows. So, but her strategy is completely different. Like if you want thousands of people in there, and if you want a low cost membership, then you have to prepare yourself for things like having an ad budget. And, most of my clients are interested in organic growth, and I think it's the same with you.
Yeah, no, definitely. So we've got some lovely folks here. Nicola's here, Gordon is here, our very good friend Raj is here. Anybody here from your community you can see? There's Chris Wilcox is here.
Hey, Chris.
Yeah, I think Chris might be in my group as well as your group. It's a kind of familiar sounding name. So this idea then of combining your membership with your high ticket thing or even a mid ticket thing, it's kind of a no-brainer, and here's a couple of integration ideas. So we've already talked about people buying your membership to start with as a kind of no-brainer, soft intro to you and your world. And then those people are really, really easy to upgrade compared with cold clients who've never bought anything off you, cold prospects. But it works the other way around as well. And as Desi touched on earlier today, once you've, I'll call you Desi then, sorry. You hate being called Desi, don't you, just for reference?
Actually, that's what I love being called. But when I got into the online world, Desi DOBREVA was taken as a URL, like as
I
a
see,
social
right.
media.
Well, I might continue calling you Desi then, because I quite like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, as Des/Desi just said, running the membership thing and continuing it, even when they're in your high ticket program, is a really, really good idea. Why? Because when they've finished the high ticket program, and we learned this very early on in the CAB, it's 12 weeks. It's really intensive. They get a fantastic experience. They, as Lisa's fond of saying at the end of it, you know what we know after 12 weeks, right? But that doesn't mean you're doing it. It doesn't mean your business is working yet. So having a membership as a follow-on stops this kind of cliff drop at the end of your program where people just wander off and forget everything that they've learned. And we find that as a really, really powerful use case, if you like, for the Academy membership community. Just keeping you there, keeping you in the community. It enables us to make a promise where we say, we'll work with you until it works for you.
Yeah.
Work with you till it works for you.
And that's the beauty of it. It's so flexible. I have clients who start a membership and then use it to sell their high ticket offer. And I have clients who prefer to focus on selling their high ticket offer and then use that to downsell people into the membership. So it's totally up to you if you want to focus on launching one main thing and then using that to funnel people to your other offers. Or what I personally do is I really only have 2 offers. And so I launch both of them. But one of them I only open, my membership, I only open once or twice a year. So really, I focus on selling my recurring revenue program where I help people build membership sites and launch and grow them. And then from there alone, because there's so many people in it, it's so easy to fill my membership or to replace people who've left my membership. All you have to do is send an email or ask them, basically. And it's only, but again, this is only possible if you are actually good at what you do, because there's a lot of people who are like, I'm gonna start a membership and I'm gonna crush it, and then they deliver nothing. Like I saw someone who started
you can't be cynical about it, can you?
She promised, so she started a tech membership and she promised live mastermind calls, a huge content gallery with tutorials and a bunch of other shit. Didn't give them a single thing and kept taking their payments and saying it's coming. It's coming, and then even tried to sell them on a done for you offer. And I was like, what? So of course people left.
Well, there are people in all areas of our business who, are just in it to line their own pockets and haven't thought about value for the client. I don't think anybody watching this is in that category, and we're certainly not. But I just thought about the idea of starting it quite lightweight, really. I mean, it doesn't need a fully fleshed out structure to start your membership, does it? I mean, in its least form, its lowest sort of level, you could just do a weekly call and have a Facebook group.
Yeah. It depends on like your goal for it, but also your budget, your time commitment. So I've had clients who literally in 4 weeks had a working membership and a first successful founding member launch with just a Facebook group. And I don't even think she had a content gallery yet. Because remember, you can't charge for a Facebook group. You have to,
Correct.
The loophole is that you have to have your membership. But
just
what
a
I
Zoom
usually
call,
advise,
maybe once a week or twice a month or something.
Yeah, she had calls twice a month, I think. But what I advise is the reason it's better to start with at least some like content created in advance to put in there is because of 2 reasons. Number one, if you don't do that in advance, then you accept people, you're going to feel a ton of pressure because they're going to start asking you like, where's the stuff? Where's the stuff? And you're going to be like, oh my God, I must create stuff. And secondly, when people join a membership where you've promised a call or calls every week and there is a Facebook group, but the content is missing, in between calls, there's nothing that they can do. They're literally sitting there being like, well, was this really worth joining? Because there's nothing to sink your teeth into. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So 10 to 20 resources that you can put in your membership. They don't have to be yours. Maybe half of them can be yours. You can get resources from other people as well.
Yeah, that's a really good tip, isn't it? You know, stuff that you've used to develop your business. If you're showing people how to build a business like yours, which a lot of people are, use the resources that you learn from. You know, put them out there. We've been doing that for years with some of the platforms where we're not active. You know, like Instagram and LinkedIn. We've got other people's content guiding you to that. Yeah, it's really, really interesting. Well, while you're all here today, if you're watching this live, type a question in. What's your number one question about recurring? In fact, I'll tell you what, I've got a better question. Do you remember that one that was in the group? What's stopping you launching your recurring membership site right now, your subscription membership site? What's stopping you? Can you answer that question in the comments here? What's stopping you?
Yeah, I would love to hear that, because I'll tell you, the top 3 things I hear are: number 1, I don't have the time, which is so ridiculous. I'm not even going to go into it. Number 2, the tech is too complicated. It really is not. I saw what one person in your comment thread thought that she needed to launch a membership, and I was like, what? I still to this day don't even have most of these things that you list. Like she was like Photoshop and something else. I'm like, what? Why?
Yeah, that was in the post, wasn't it? One of the comments.
Somebody
made a list of all the stuff they needed.
Yeah, there was a lady who thought you don't need that. So either it's I don't have the time, or
you slapped her hard, didn't you? You don't need that stuff. That'd be ridiculous.
Just keeping it real, because I don't want you guys to not give yourself permission for doing something you want because of reasons that are not real reasons. The third one usually is I don't have an audience yet. Like there's a lot of people who are like, oh, my audience is too small, or oh, I'm just starting out. Dude, I have people who came into my world with no business, like let go of their job because COVID happened, literally lost everything overnight. And 60 days later, they had 3,000 people in their audience and 2 successful membership site launches.
That's crazy, isn't it? That's crazy.
It's crazy.
Facebook user, we don't know who you are, and I'm sniffing around my group to see if I can find your name. Somebody has just said you created yours in 24 hours with Canva and platform. Who are you? Tell us who you are.
Nice.
Talk to you. Yeah. Needing to spend time thinking about what I want to offer as part of the membership.
Joe Horton.
Joe Horton, right. Right. I currently have a lower ticket trainer in your pocket membership for clients who've already graduated one of my programs. Is that you, Chris? That sounds like your language. Chris Pamphlet. I'm just trying to get. StreamYard is so lame where it just says Facebook.
I know. I hate it. I only see Joe.
It's Joe Horton, right? It's Joe.
But that's awesome in 24 hours. Yeah, people really like to waste time is what I've noticed, including, let's face it, some of my clients think that they can still procrastinate when they come into my world. And then I'm like, nope, you don't need this, don't need this, don't need this, don't need this. That saves you 2 months now. It's crazy.
One of my favorite phrases whenever I hear people listing a bunch of stuff to get done is that nothing has to happen first. Nothing has to happen first. And that is so true when it comes to recurring membership sites. You just need to get on with it. There's a couple of things to put in place and you can literally switch it on. Let's think about next week then, the experience people are going to have with you, Des, on your 5-day challenge. At the end of it, will they have the tools they need at that point to launch their own membership site? Is that one of the outcomes?
Yeah, you're going to walk away with knowing exactly what launch model you want, exactly what type of membership you want. You're going to actually walk away having validated your idea as well, or at least began to validate it with your own audience, because this is not just one of those theoretical things. Like you will have to do a few things in this challenge that bring you closer to this. And day 5, I'm going to give you a gift, which basically is something that will contain your entire membership site plan. And you'll walk away with huge clarity on exactly how to build a membership that brings you your first recurring 6 figures in 12 months.
Yeah, That is just fantastic, isn't it? What a great promise. I do think Desi's challenge is one of the best challenges out there. That there's a number of other challenges that you might have seen, including mine and other stuff around LinkedIn and that sort of stuff. But this is so value packed, and Des is so committed to you guys getting a result from it. I've just popped the joining link in again in the comments here, which should populate around our ecosystem. So whatever you do, just click that link and sign up for it.
Yeah.
Did you put it? Did you put it in the page again just now?
I was putting it in your group because I don't know where we're even live. I only see us in your group.
Well, we're live on the Johnny Cooper Global page. We're also live in Johnny X Marketing in the Client Attraction Academy, which is my members' community. We were supposed to be live on LinkedIn, but LinkedIn has broken and decided that we're not going to be allowed to do that today.
What is the name of your page?
The page is just called Johnny Cooper Global.
Oh, global, I see.
Johnny Cooper Global.
Got it. I found it. I was searching for it and I was like, I'm finding some completely different people. There we are.
Yeah.
Yay.
Gordon Bryan's a big fan of the phrase "nothing has to happen first." Yeah, I know. And this is something I recite sometimes. You know, when we're in conversation with people who are lining up things that have to happen before they can join our program, or before they can start their program, before they can launch this and that. And you know, when it comes down to it, firm, decisive action, deciding to do something, it's the final step before you actually do it. And you know, these wishy-washy excuses, which is all they are. I need to learn Canva. I'm rubbish at tech. You know,
it's crazy.
That, you know,
it's crazy. Like, you don't need a big audience. You don't need a big audience. You don't need tech. You only need the most basic things. And like, don't underestimate yourself and your ability to adapt and learn. I mean, God, when I started, I cried my eyes out for half a week because I couldn't understand what a lead magnet is and how it connects to an email list.
It's really sad.
It was so sad. Like, I was this close to punching a freaking wall. And I just couldn't get it. People were using terms like leads and conversions. And I was like, what on earth? I don't want to talk like that, basically. I was very resistant to it at first because I didn't realize. But look at where I am now. I mean, honestly, a few months can make a massive difference, let alone a few years.
Yeah, it really can. You'll learn quickly. And you'll learn by doing it as well. You know, some learning just can't be picked up in a vacuum, you know, in a darkened room, just trying to work everything out. And you don't need to work it out in advance, because the stuff you need to learn is actually fundamentally what your clients actually want. And you're only going to find that out by doing it and getting some clients around you, because they're going to tell you, aren't they? Week by week, they're going to say, can't we have these sessions every 2 weeks instead of every week? Or can you do it on a Tuesday instead of a Thursday? You know, you can't decide that stuff in advance, and that's why taking action and launching it is something you can do right now. Well, you can certainly do it after 5 days, can't you? And the 5 days is coming up starting on Monday. So if you haven't seen a link to join Desi's challenge, can you just type in the comments? Just type.
I posted it on your page comments and group comments.
Yeah, because I think it's everywhere. I think you've got a chance, but just click the bloody thing, for Christ's sake, and register for Desi's challenge starting on Monday. Progress comes at the point you want to throw your PC out of the window. Yeah, I think so too. I think in the last 5 years I've destroyed 2 keyboards just with and all the keys go ping. And you think, well, I could put it back together, but I can't be bothered, so you just order another one. Yeah, I think I've done that twice. It can get frustrating, guys, but what we're talking about today, and certainly working with Des, is going to make it simpler for you and that frustration. Any last words just to entice people to join us next week?
Well, I think that the reason you should even consider working with someone, whether it's for free or not, because let's face it, this is a free challenge, but you will be working with me for almost a week and my team. The reason to do that is not just because what somebody provides seems like a good fit for you business wise, I think the number one reason is personality. So there's going to be a lot of people who go, oh hell no, I don't want to be in her energy or in her world. But for those of you who are feeling like, oh yeah, like I
Yeah.
like her and I like what she stands for and I like how she talks and I like how she keeps it real, then it is for you. And on the very first day of the challenge, I actually turn around and say, if you don't vibe with this and this, then you shouldn't be here, because this is not just about people who want to get a business result. This is about people who want long-term results. And if you don't like the person that is speaking to you, you're just not gonna implement. So
Yeah.
I'm
I
all
agree.
about keeping things simple, minimalistic business model. I'm a big fan of that.
Totally. Yeah.
Not
I'm
selling
with you
too
there.
many things, having a lot of free time, having a lifestyle that is very like location independent. And if
Yeah.
you feel aligned with that, then this is the place for you for sure.
Yeah, I agree. And Gregor's just confirmed that everybody's seen the link, which is nice. In fact, he reckons Mark Zuckerberg signed up. It's so universal and visible everywhere. Even Zuck signed up. Resistance is futile, as Gregory said. I like how raw you are. I don't know whether that's me or you. Probably, we're probably both
It's
quite raw.
me.
Yeah. Is that a good thing? I don't know. Right, fantastic. So that's it for Friday afternoon, folks. We can't tell you any more other than join this bloody challenge next week. You will get everything you expect and more. It's a business in a box. By the end of the 5 days, you will know how to launch your own membership group. And in fact, you may well have started it by the end of the week. Good stuff. Right, well, we'll see you soon, Des. Keep close. Let us know how it's going.
See you on Monday, guys.
Have a blessed weekend. See you.